Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm in Keystone, South Dakota up in the Black Hills. I just got to Big Thunder Gold Mine. They open in about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go in, take a look around and see what kind of adventure we can find today. So I just did a little tour of the inside of Big Thunder Gold Mine and took some pictures in there. I didn't really film anything with the video camera. I bought a 5-gallon bucket of pay dirt. They sell them in there for $50, which is a pretty good deal. I bought a little golden quartz sample for $35. A little like turkey feather wall art thing that they were selling in there for about $20. And then I signed up for a 4-hour panning tour tomorrow morning, like claim tour. I'm going to take my sister and her kids out to do that, like niece and nephew. And then I also picked up a pan of pay dirt while I was in there. I'm going to do a little panning. I have about 45 minutes before I got to go back and pick up my wife and son from the hotel. And they're working out in the gym, having breakfast. So I'm going to do a little gold panning, kind of in the shadow of the Black Hills. There's a little trough set up right here. That's the pan of material that I got. They said I could pan that out, and I could also clean out material in the bottom of the trough if I wanted to pan some of that too. I'll throw the camera on a tripod and do a little panning. Here's a look at the gold that we found in the little pan of material that she gave me. She actually gave me the material for free since I paid for the claim tour and spent about $100 on other things in the shop. So I'm gonna suck that up with a snuffer bottle, and it's like about 7 little flakes and a bunch of fines right there. I'm gonna suck that up with a snuffer bottle, and I'm gonna scoop up some dirt out of the trough and see if anybody that panned here the last week or so missed anything. Spend about a half hour doing that, and then go pick up the family. There's a look at the gold that I recovered from the first couple scoops from the bottom of the trough. That's a couple pieces of gold that people missed when they were panning before. So I'm gonna, looks like there's probably 20 or 30 more scoops in there, so I'm gonna keep scooping pay dirt up, and actually found one more piece right there. They're really flat little flakes, so I'm gonna suck those up with a snuffer bottle and keep cleaning it out, and I'll show you what I find. So this is pan number 2 of stuff that I cleaned off the bottom of the trough here. Look at the gold from pan number 2 from the bottom of the trough. This is pan number 3 from the cleanup from the bottom of the trough. We've just been panning everything up here and cleaning up everything down there. This is probably going to be my last pan because I gotta get back to the hotel and pick up my wife and son. If I didn't have a family, I'd probably pan every single one of these troughs out. I'm hoping that the rain holds off tomorrow morning so I can bring my niece and nephew out and do a little claim tour with them. There are some bigger garnets in this stuff too, so if you really wanted to slow down and pull out a few garnets, they're not huge, but they're big enough that you can pick them out, pull them out. Most of them are about that size right there. Let's see if we can roll back this last pan and see what we find. Oh, there's a ton more garnets in there. I might actually just suck all that up with a snuffer bottle. I think we were actually cleaning out the bottom of the riffles in this pan, getting to the bottom of the riffles. There's a ton of flower gold in there. Okay, in the interest of time, I'm actually just going to suck all this up with the snuffer bottle, take it back to the cabin, and then I'll set up a little panning station and finish cleaning it all up there. It looks like there's a couple more flakes in there, so I'm going to get all the material sucked up and we'll take it back to the cabin. This is the Big Thunder Gold Mine website. It says on-site gold panning, claim panning adventures. That's what I signed up for with my niece and nephew. They actually just give you a guide. Jake was our guide. He was awesome with the kids. He taught them how to dig in the pit. He taught them how to use the tools. He took them down the hill once they got their first bucket of dirt filled up, taught them how to run their dirt through the stream sluices. They basically just have some of these livestock tanks from like Tractor Supply set up so they recirculate the water through them. The water runs down a stream sluice into a tank, down a stream sluice into a tank. And there's 4 tanks hooked up in the system, and then they pump the water back up to the first tank and just recirculate it. So we went up on the mountain, got in a pit that they had already started. Most of the overburden was off of it. Threw out a bunch of rocks, tore out rocks, cleaned off rocks, threw them out of the hole. Then we scooped up the material that was left, classified it through a 1/4 inch arbor fabricating classifier. We filled up, there was 4 of us working, so we filled up 4 buckets at a time. We were using 2 sluices down at the bottom of the mountain. Just carried the buckets down the mountain, ran them through the sluice boxes. I didn't film any of that just because it was kind of family time. I didn't want to encroach on family time with a camera to film. The girls in the gift shop got me set up. I actually went Thursday morning. I stopped there Thursday morning to set up for Friday morning. My sister and niece and nephew were coming into South Dakota Thursday evening, so I asked them if they wanted to go gold painting with me on Friday morning. They said yes, so I stopped at Big Thunder Thursday morning for about an hour, did a little panning, got everything set up for Friday morning, and then we went there Friday morning, checked in at 8:45. Jake met us at about 8:50 or so and took us up on the mountain a couple hundred yards behind the buildings and showed us some of the old mining equipment that was back up there. Told us that we could basically dig a pit anywhere on the mountain that we thought there might be good gold. There was about 4 or 5 pits that were already started up there, and I thought one of them looked pretty good. It was already, most of the overburden was already moved off of it. It was easy to just jump in it, start moving and cleaning boulders and classifying dirt. And then we carried it down the hill, maybe 50 feet to the sluice
setup that they had there. And Jake was really good about taking his time and explaining to my niece and nephew how to run dirt through a sluice box. And I thought he did a really good job of managing their expectations. They got a little gold fever, I think, and you know, Jake was telling them to be careful. Like most people get like one piece of gold per bucket. Don't get your expectations too high. I think we ended up moving about 12 buckets of dirt in the 4 hours. I would say that about the material that's in those pits is about 70% rock and 30% dirt. So you actually spend a lot of time moving and cleaning rocks off. You know, you have to get in there with a pick. You have to get in there with a crevice tool or a pry bar and get the rocks loose, get them to move, then pull them out, brush the dirt off of them, and throw them out of the pit. And then you basically take a shovel, scoop up the dirt that's left, run it through a classifier, and then take it down to the sluice box. So there's a lot of work just to get material into the buckets. But you definitely want to wear some clothes that you don't really care if they get dirty. I think these are the prices for some of the things you can do at the mine. The mine tours are $13.95 for adults, $10.95 for ages 6 to 12, and 5 and under are free. We did the claim painting adventure. It was $50.95 for each child and $65.95 for adults. We only did the half day painting tour. There was a full day painting tour that's a better deal. We just didn't have time to do the full 8 hours because we had some wedding stuff to do that evening. So we also did the on-site gold panning. So the day that I went early on Thursday morning to get everything set up, I actually panned most of the dirt in this trough right here. And then when we went back on Friday morning, we panned in this trough and tried to clean out most of the dirt in that one. So we were there for about an hour. I think we ended up just splitting the gold for the two kids into two little vials for the two kids. So I think we ended up finding $20 or $25 worth of gold. About half of it was up on the mountain when we were doing our claim tour. We did get in that hole and punch it down to bedrock, and the last 4 buckets that we cleaned were pretty much material right off of bedrock, and I'm guessing that's what helped us find more gold up there, is getting to the actual bedrock and then working diligently to make sure that we tried to get as much of the material off the bedrock as we could, cleaned the bedrock as good as we could. And I'm guessing that most of the gold that we found when we cleaned the sluices out came out of those last 4 buckets of dirt that came right off the bedrock. So if you have a chance, you definitely want to punch your hole down, try and get that dirt off the bedrock. But he said, when I was talking to Jake, he said that there is gold in the dirt above the bedrock too. So can do mine tours, can do gold panning. Says there's a big Thunder Bar and Grill. We never actually ate at the bar and grill. We just went back to the cabin, had lunch with our family after we got done. We just took some snacks and some bottles of water, took some fruit, apple and orange, banana, some bottles of water, and we actually didn't even have a snack when we were up on the mountain. I think all of us got a little gold fever, and we were kind of playing off each other. It was like racing to get buckets filled up so we could find as much gold as we could find in 4 hours. So it's definitely something that you should check out with your family if you have kids if they're interested in rocks or gems, minerals, stuff like that. I know my niece and nephew were super excited about going there, and I was kind of surprised that they worked as hard as they did for 4 solid hours. And both of them fell asleep in the car on the way back to the cabin. It was about a 30-minute drive back to the cabin when we got done. Both of them were asleep within about 10 minutes. The other thing that I really liked about going to Big Thunder Gold Mine is it's about a mile from Mount Rushmore. So when we were driving back to Custer from Keystone, we actually stayed in just outside of Custer. We rented a cabin just outside of Custer. But so when we were driving back from Keystone to Custer, you actually take the road that goes right past Mount Rushmore, and there's a little pull off that you can pull off to the side of the highway and take pictures of Mount Rushmore. So we did that too on the way back. But definitely a place you want to check out if you want to spend some time there. Jake did tell me that they're thinking about doing some 2-hour painting tours or claim tours if you wanted to. That they're thinking about doing some of those in the near future. So if you don't have the full 4 hours, I would definitely stop in or call them the day before and see if it's possible if you could do a 2-hour tour instead of 4. But I'm sure they'll work something out. But they were really good about helping me get everything set up, and there was like a 50% chance of rain Friday morning. That's what the weather was saying on Thursday. So I asked them what would happen if I paid for it on Thursday and it rained, and they said that it wouldn't be an issue, that they'd get everything taken care of if we got rained out, that if it was just a little bit of rain we could go anyway, and which is what I wanted to do. But when we got up there, it sprinkled on us just a little bit for about 10 minutes, and then it was actually kind of nice. It was about 60 degrees and cloudy all morning, and so it wasn't too hot. I would imagine in the summer it gets a little warmer up there, especially if you do the afternoon 4 hours. But should definitely check it out if you have kids that like gems or minerals or gold painting. I thought it was a good time. So that's really all I had. I just wanted to give them a review on YouTube and tell them thank you for having us into their gold mine and letting us go up and play in the dirt. If that's something that sounds fun to you, should definitely check it out. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos, and thanks for watching.